Preface. Papa, how can you vote for him? My then 13-year-old son asked me one night in 2016. He's so crude. The him of the question was, of course, then candidate Donald John Trump. I answered, Brendan, I know he swears and is crude, but so are a lot of the best men I've ever known. I've known guys who taught like sailors and haven't darkened the door of a church in years, if not decades, and they would give you the shirt off their back. And I've known men who present themselves as holier than thou and would certainly never use bad words, but they'd stab you in the back and not think twice about it. Trump is crude, but those other men so worried about what he says have had their chance to run the country. A lot of those men and women in those debates and other pundits who express outrage at Trump's coarseness have the ethnic cleansing and blood of hundreds of thousands of Christians on their hands from the Middle East wars that unleashed hell on those poor people. That's crude. And they're worried about swearing and rough language? Have those Catholics who judge Trump but support those disastrous policies apologized? He should be mad. He should be swearing. Drive around the country and look at what has been done, not happened, what has been done to the working class in this country while those guys make speeches and promises and nothing ever changes for the better. That was the way one Catholic father explained his support for Donald Trump when his son asked him, and his enthusiasm for the man did not wane. Later, when Hillary Clinton ran what was probably her most memorable television ad spot, the one which featured little kids transfixed in front of the TV screen while Trump seemingly shouted, "They can go F themselves." My son looked at me expectantly with a look that said, "What about that?" I replied, "That right there is why I'm voting for him." And, it turns out I was not alone. If you want to understand why Trump is the 45th president, none other than Michael Moore, the ultra-liberal Trump-hating filmmaker, told the world before the election why the man he hated was going to win. Watch the video found on YouTube. Don't feel bad if you are almost moved to tears. You should be. If the URL is no longer active, search for Michael Moore Trump speech. Moore got it. In fact, he got it so well that one wonders why he did not support Trump. Well, not really, but that was a powerful stump speech for Donald Trump in 2016, as you'll find. Moore's speech in Ohio to what looked like a crowd of Rust Belt Democrats, and hence probably a lot of blue-collar Catholics, explained and justified, even if unintentionally, the natural appeal of candidate Trump to such voters. In that video, Moore is talking specifically about the economic destruction of the working class that has proceeded apace under politicians of both parties for the past 4 decades, if not longer. But he could just as well have talked about the wars to which the poor and middle class have sent their sons and daughters, and for which the results have been nothing short of disastrous, especially, again, for the Christians in the Middle East. We couldn't have done a better job of making the world safe for radical Islam had we tried. That is, until Donald J. Trump was elected. And now, more than 3 years later, ISIS's territory has been rolled back. And our political leadership in Washington is unafraid to identify that particular enemy by name. Many Catholics have wrestled with the candidacy and now the presidency of Donald Trump, often for very different reasons, for he eludes easy categorization. Many of those who originally did not like him have warmed to him, again for a variety of reasons. But one can assume that there are still many Catholics out there that either don't know what to make of the man or dislike him. As reflected in the subtitle of this book, the authors feel certain that for Catholics voting in the 2020 election, Trump is the only choice for Republicans, Democrats, and independents alike. In these pages, we will endeavor to explain why. How to read this book. A Catholic vote for Trump endeavors to look at this man, one of the most polarizing figures in the history of American politics, yet at the same time, one of the greatest unifiers, as he is drawing in Democrats and independents of all races, and make the case that for Catholics, a vote for Trump is the only choice in 2020. To do so completely, objectively, is a daunting task, and the authors will claim to be fair-minded, but maybe not objective, for they have come to love Donald Trump. In the draft stage, the working subtitle of the book was "The Establishment Has No Clothes." That working subtitle captures the feeling of perhaps much of the country. What Trump revealed, and everyone knows that no one else would have revealed it either because they were, or still are, part of the whole corrupt enterprise, or because they did not believe it themselves, or because they simply would not have been able to pull back the curtain as masterfully as Trump has, is that truly the establishment has no clothes. Trump was like the child in that story who told the truth out loud, while everyone around him, lemming-like, admired the naked king's clothes. On foolish wars and nation building, Trump said, "They have no clothes. No more stupid wars." On the trade deals that have gutted this country, Trump said, "They have no clothes. Let's bring back manufacturing and make America great again." On the corruption and, as is being revealed, criminality endemic to DC, Trump said, "They have no clothes. Lock her up." Recent events have revealed that the her of his rhetoric could well be changed to them. On the unchecked flow of immigrants over the southern border, Trump said, "They have no clothes. Illegal immigration today has nothing to do with the fact that the United States is a nation of immigrants. The circumstances have changed. What do you do when the circumstances change? You change." On the corrupt and dishonest media, Trump said, "They have no clothes. Fake news." On Islam as the religion of peace, Trump said, "They have no clothes. Radical Islamic terrorism." On the fact that the political class in this country is essentially a uniparty that has not put the average American first, Trump said, "They have no clothes. Drain the swamp." On the tragedy of abortion in this country, Trump said, "They have no clothes. I will be a pro-life president." So, this book will look at Trump from a Catholic perspective, touching upon a variety of themes and issues. Relevant quotes from church teaching or other Catholic sources will introduce the chapters, followed by pertinent quotes from Trump's speeches. In addition, the outstanding work of other commentators from the left, right, and who knows where will be quoted, at times at length, if they are particularly astute observers of what has gone on these past few years. Jesse will bring his particular perspective as a Mexican-American Catholic to bear on issues such as immigration. By drawing on a diversity of sources, it is hoped that this book will be viewed as something other than the special pleading of a particular political outlook, though the authors are staunch Catholics who come from long lines of Democrats, but who fairly early on in their own voting lives realized they could no longer stand with that party. As the years have passed, they have noticed more and more of their friends and family make that same break. URLs, some in the main body of the book itself, but most in the footnotes, will be provided to important videos to watch and articles to read online that will be discussed in the text. If you find that the URLs are not current, though they are when the book goes to press, keywords will also be provided to assist in the search. But one need not follow the links or read the other articles to understand the book. J.M. John McCollough. A Catholic Vote for Trump.